It's fourth and loaded! What's this about? We don't know! Why am I angry? I don't know! Here's Lana and Packle!
All right, hello. As you know, as you can hear, that's Lana. Hi, Lana.
Hello.
Elena, for real. I'm Packle. If for those that know me, and nobody's going to be listening to this that doesn't know me, I'm Packle. If you don't know me, I guess I'm still Packle. Wouldn't change that. Same name. Anyways, we'll try to do this maybe once a week. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. It will just keep it kind of as we go. And then we'll improve it as we go. I promise it won't be as bad as the first one, but we'll go on. So,
The first season's
so
always
how's
the worst.
work?
Oh, I don't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't talk about that. Work's off the table in these conversations. Um, so yesterday we were gonna do this yesterday, but kind of ran into some issues yesterday. So I want to get so as you know, I love my truck. Truck's great. I've loved that more than I would probably love a second child if I had one. But the tires suck in screws like it's nobody's business. I don't understand. It's like the fourth screw I've had in my tire in the last like I don't know 4 months. It seems like since the middle of summer I've had this thing repaired like 3 or 4 times. I don't understand why screws keep going in this tire. It's a Bronco. They're supposed to go off road. I don't know where I'd go off road because I feel like I'd have twigs stuck in it and piercing my tire every time I did it. But I'm pretty sure I'd get them from work driving the building because there's nowhere else I would drive over screws. But anyways, so there's another screw in there. So I was going to go to Discount Tire yesterday. So they open at 8. I tried to make an appointment. There were none available. I'm like, well, I'll just wake up early on my day off and go there. So I got up at 7, drove over to Discount Tire, got there at like 7:45. There were, I counted them. I literally counted the people, 13 people waiting in line for them to open the door outside. And it was raining. Like, are they giving away tires? Like, I just wanted my tire repaired. Um, I, I mean, I, I, I love Discount Tire because they fix my tires for free. They don't charge me anything for them. They're great. And I have the opinion like, if I like someplace, I actually hope it's crowded because that means it's not going to close down. Like you go to like a bar and you're like, I really like this bar, but there's never anybody there. Like, well, this sucks. So I'd rather the places be crowded that I like. But that's ridiculous. Like I just look like they're like having like 3 people man the lines and separate the lines because everybody's when they open the door. That's like is this like Black Friday or giving away tires? But it only took 2 hours. Wasn't that bad. They fixed my tire and I'm gone. So um that was my day yesterday. I got to figure out stop running over screws. Apparently, he
So
goes. I knew I had a screw in my back rear tire, and he goes. I told him where it was. He went out there and looked. He's like, "You got a screw in your back, your passenger side rear too." He's like, "You can see it from here." Fix them both, I guess. Like I said, you might as well check all 4 because there's probably screws in the other two too.
the day that I got
Ridiculous.
engaged, I went to Discount Tire because I swear to God, I had like 3 flat
You got
tires.
engaged and went to Discount Tire.
Okay, I was working, right? And it was my it was our 7th anniversary, like dating. And we were gonna go to dinner and like we had all stuff planned and I like snuck out of work early. I had to go to Discount Tire because I had 3 flat tires. And so I was
Is that
there
like
and
the
there was
car you sold Brandon?
yeah,
There's no tires on it apparently that he can't get to
I'm
work.
pretty sure those are the same tires. I told him to get new tires and new brakes, but he chose to get his windows
He got
tinted.
one. I asked him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's doing one at a time
So
apparently.
I
Anyways,
went to
go on.
I went to Discount Tire because there were 4 flat tires, but I got one repaired, right? And they were like, "Do you know what tire, was put on here?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You guys did it." Turns out they didn't do it. I took it to Mavis. And so I'm like yelling at the guy. I'm like, "You did it." But you know,
You yelling at somebody?
yeah,
No. I
thing I
refuse
do,
to believe that.
thing I do. It's a thing I'm known for.
Um I hate tire. I've had nothing but bad luck with tire. Every car I've ever had, for some reason, I just always have issues with tires. Like I'm always putting air in them. I don't understand. Like every car I've ever had.
Is there
I
construction by
thought
you?
buying this one with the gigantic tires on it would avoid that, but apparently not.
No, they're just more expensive.
Anyways, so did you follow the winter meetings at all? I know you probably didn't. I did.
Not really. I
There
saw
wasn't
that.
much to follow.
Yeah, they're. I really hadn't been paying that much attention to it. The last thing sports related that I did pay attention to was that they're working out Philip Rivers and Indy.
He signed. They
Did
literally
he?
signed him. Like he gave back. The guy's not as old as me. I feel like he should be way older than me.
He's got like
Because my
15
sports
kids.
life and
That
my real life
automatically
is different.
ages you 20 years.
Well, he's got like 70,000 kids. Like his kids are probably playing college football by now. I would assume, or at least he's a grandfather.
Is he
But
really?
yeah, that's what they said. He's actually got one of his kids, one of his 15 kids, or however many heck he has kids. Um, I don't know. Like he gave his Hall of Fame, like he can't, like his Hall of Fame criteria restarted. So like you have to be out of the league for 5 years before you can be eligible for the Hall of Fame. I think it's 5. And because he signed, as long as until he signs the active roster, I think he can technically be on the practice squad, but they're going to sign him with the active roster. As soon as he gets signed to that, his Hall of Fame eligibility resets. He's going to have to wait another like 5 years. But I don't know. That's on him. The Colts, I don't know. I don't know how he can possibly. They're trying to do what Joe Flacco did last year, just shows up off the street and
Yeah,
is
right.
able to um, somehow play quarterback in the NFL. You got all these other guys, the guys that they drafted play quarterback all their life that can't show up and play, and he just bagging groceries and walk in and start throwing the ball around the field.
Yo,
Yeah, the winter meeting sucked, by the way. Like I get all excited for that. It's like my Christmas, baseball Christmas, and I thought there was a couple things happened, like Schwarber signed, I guess, and uh, I'm tired of reading on Twitter. Oh, the Cubs had a meeting with this guy, or this guy wanted to play for the Cubs, but they didn't want to pay him. That's like there's like every free agent that signs, other than Schwarber, it doesn't seem like the Cubs wanted him back. But every free agent that has signed, like after they sign, like 2 days later, somebody's like, "Oh, well, the Cubs were in on that guy, but they didn't get him."
yeah.
Like,
It's but how long
I
has it
can.
been like that? I
It's
mean,
always been like
since
just
I
pay
can
somebody.
remember.
All they have to do is pay one guy, and everybody shut up. I'm tired of listening to people that say.
Literally,
I
yeah.
mean,
And you don't even have to do it every year. Throw me a bone every 2-3 years,
right? I'm tired of
and
them, but
I'd shut
don't
up.
don't placate me and say, "Oh
Oh,
yeah,
we
we
were in
almost
on
got him."
it. We just didn't want to pay.
Wasn't a good value. No free agent's a good value. Free
I mean,
agency in
honestly,
baseball, there are no good values.
out of all the revenue they're earning more revenue as a team in the last since Ricketts taken over than they have ever when was it Wrigley Tribune, whoever owned them
Before
before.
Ricketts.
Yeah, they're.
Well,
I don't know how
they're
they don't have the ability to pay these people. Like, is it really that bad of a deal? Like, whose finger is on the button? Is it
it's Ricketts. He's controls the money. Yeah, it's like he's given. This is the budget. That's the budget. It is. I don't.
I
He
mean, I feel like that's how it should be, but I mean, is he calling the shots on the actual players? Because if he gives,
No, I don't think he has any say so on players. I honestly don't believe that. I just think that Jed's a conservative. He's conservative in nature as a, just that's who he is. So, but all the teams, like the new thing is like the Dodgers, they paid Shohei what 700 million, 680 of it million of it was deferred. And then Dylan Cease just signs with Toronto and they deferred a bunch of money and the Cubs won't do that. Like it's just not in their MO. Like that's a policy that they refuse to do. And it's like now you're falling behind the rest of the market. Like if other teams are willing to do that, you're putting yourself behind a competitive disadvantage by not doing that. Like I'm not saying you do it to every contract, but if somebody wants that and that's the way to do it, why would you not? Why would you
I
not
don't
want to
think
defer money?
I don't think Dylan Cease is worth that, but
No, he was
Shohei,
not. Dylan Cease he got way too much money, but Toronto doesn't seem to care. They got within an out of the World Series, so I get it. I wouldn't have paid Cease that much money either, but they want to get that Japanese guy or Michael King. There's plenty of guys out there. They just need to spend some money. Like, I don't know what they're waiting for. Sometimes you just have to overpay. You have to overpay. Like I said, free agency is an overpay. There's no way you're going to get a free agent though. You're paying for past performance, and it's not a good proposition, but it's part of what you have to do to compete. So it
Right.
doesn't make any sense to not. If you want a guy, go get him. Just pay it. Nobody else has a problem doing it. But yeah, they were really boring, and
And
now
I'll
who
never
knows?
accept that as an answer from the Cubs that we don't have the money, we don't want to allot the money, whatever. I'll never accept that as an answer because they're like Boston. They're a team that's constantly generating money.
There was
Constantly.
a thing that came out last week, the week before, about the percentage of, and you can't, it's all, they can deny it because nobody opens their books, right? None of the teams show you what they're making or whatever. But you can't, according to everything that whatever site this was can determine, they took the revenue in spending and just did it by percentages. Like, this is how much revenue they generate. This is how much you're spending on baseball. And the Cubs are like in the bottom 5 teams of amount of revenue and amount percentage spent on the team. Like, I think the Dodgers spend, I want to say it was 73%. I could probably Google it. Like 73% of the revenue went to the baseball the salaries, and the Cubs are
Not
like in
going to not going
40%.
to that
I could be
stadium
wrong
because
about
that
that, but
stadium still looks like 1968.
yeah, well, they own all that real estate. Like, I know that's not appreciable. It's like, that's not dollar assets. Like, it's all kind of you don't see that money, right? It's not transferable money, but they still got to be making a shit ton of money on that, on those rooftops and all the hotels they own, everything they own on that thing. Take a sip of my drink. My one vice is all the sugar I drink in a day now. I gotta give it's not a shameless plug. I guess the free plug. My Dunkin Donuts, the Dunkin Donuts in Munster on Calumet Avenue, the north one, because there's 2 on Calumet Avenue. That's my favorite Dunkin Donuts and ever. I go there every day, literally, and the line is like wrapped around the building every time. Half the time it spills out on the Calumet Avenue, which is very dangerous, and I'm afraid for my life a lot of times when I go in there. But that line moves so fast. Like, the line can be like 30 cars deep, and I'll be out of that line in like 10 minutes. And then, like I've told you before, sometimes, because I place the order out, I place it on the app before I get there. And I'll pull up and I'll be waiting in line, and they'll walk out and take me out of line and just give me my drink.
Really?
So yeah, they've done that. Like, if they see me, it's happened to me a few times. I'll just be sitting there and they're knocking at my window because I'm not paying attention. And he's like, "Here you go."
I feel
And I always
bad
get,
for my Dunkin' people because they were so good to me. Like when I was pregnant and I started like weaning, down
yeah,
caffeine, and they always ask about the boys and like, oh, how's the babies? And I show them pictures and stuff, and like, and I just get fired and they don't see me for 3 weeks. But like, I'm not waking up at 4 in the morning to go see them. Like, they
I'm there
probably
at
are
whatever.
still there at 8 o'clock, but like,
Dude, I obviously, like, you don't know, I work retail, you know that, but anybody else, I work retail, so
you
your
work
hours are
retail?
all jacked up, right? Like, one day you're at there so I'm there like 4 a.m. sometimes I'm there at 11:30 in the morning. Just depends on when I work. And my days off, I might be 2 o'clock by the time I roll out of bed and go over there. um the same person is there all the time. Like, I don't know this, I assume he's the guy who owns it, but I always place my order. Heather's name is on the app, right? It's her app, so it comes up Heather. So I have to drive up to drive-through and say, "Pick up for Heather." Thank you, Heather. Every time. Like, it's like, I don't know if he does it as a joke or if he really thinks I'm Heather, or I don't know, but um every time, like, he's there every time. Same guy. I don't know what he does. Like, it doesn't matter what day. Like, I'm there every day. Like, he's never had a day off. Like, I feel bad. Like, I mean, they're obviously making a lot of money over there, but
Wa- Watch
I don't
him.
know.
He's on a podcast somewhere. He's like, there's this guy that goes to work every day. I see him. His name's
Orders the
Heather. I don't know
same
who would do
thing
that to
every
him.
day. Oh, I think so. He's I don't know, it's a great Dunkin Donuts. So maybe I'll go over there and ask if they want to give me a free drink every now and then to call them out on the fucking podcast every week. Couldn't hurt, right?
Couldn't hurt.
That's to be your job. You gotta sell some advertising on this thing once we get it going.
Look, if I have a job, I have to report it, and then I'm not gonna earn my million.
We could hide this money somewhere. Just we'll funnel it to like the thousands of, your servants and whatever. Like we can funnel it them and just say it's pay salary and hide it in the books.
Gonna
You
do
don't have
that.
to open your books either. Just like a baseball team, like all the people you pay, landscapers.
Indentured,
Um,
indentured friends.
so yeah, like I to to transition over to I was gonna go watch the Bears. It's supposed to be like 4 degrees this weekend for the Bears game. So that's gonna suck for anybody out there. But I don't even want to go to the bar. Like I don't think I want to leave my house Sunday.
Yeah,
Really
right.
cold. But everybody's talking about how cold it's gonna be for the Bears game. Well, it is gonna be cold. I really don't need the cold. It's like literally cold. But anytime, I'm an idiot. Like I fully embrace that. Like I'm an
Lame.
idiot. So I don't understand how these smart people, like people who are really smart, have to walk around like I don't know how it doesn't bother them because like me and you know weather, right? We're weather nuts, right? So I know weather. It bothers me. Like there's one thing in this world that bothers me so much. It's when people talk about weather stupidly, like uneducated weather talk. Like it's the bane of my existence. I don't understand, but it always comes up, especially when you get like these weather games and I'm listening to sports radio on the way, driving around, and they're talking about the weather, and they're just talking like ridiculously stupid. And I don't know why that bothers me and it happens like we sitting at work and somebody pulls out their phone app and it's like, oh, it's supposed to snow tomorrow. It's like, no, it's not. Your phone app is stupid. Like, don't use phone apps for weather. Like, just don't. Like, I don't know why that bothers me. It's like, I like, I don't, most people can say things and I'm like, that's a stupid thought. And it just like goes away. And I'm like, I'm not going to correct you because you're obviously not going to understand. But like, weather, like, I don't know why that does that to me. It's like, why do I have to? Why is it gonna bother me? Like I'll just like I'm tempted to call a radio station just to argue with them about the weather. They're not talking about the weather, but
If you call 670 and you start arguing with them about anything, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's Chris from Hegwish."
that could be Chris from Egwish.
Yeah.
You just have to have the southern guy accent. That's a southern accent. I don't know where that accent came from. But yeah, I just can't sit like I have to tune it out. But even just like any people that like my parents will talk about weather. They ask me, at least they don't like assume, well, what's the weather gonna be? Like, I'm not a weatherman. I don't know.
Right.
Then I want to tell them, like, look at your phone app. I don't have this conversation. I don't know. It's
Mario
supposed to
asks
snow.
me every morning. He's like, "What's temperature gonna be like today?" I don't know.
Ask
It's
Alexa.
There's snow on the fucking ground. It's cold.
Yeah, just ask Alexa. She'll tell you what the weather's
So
like. She
then I
won't be
gotta get on
right
my phone app.
to argue with Alexa about the weather.
I'm
Uh,
like, I have no idea. So yeah, yesterday they said that we were supposed to get snow squalls and
mhm.
they said 70-mile-an-hour winds. I didn't get any of that.
No,
I
it
don't know, maybe it
snowed.
was closer to the lake, but
Nah.
it snowed a little bit,
Hmm?
but not I would not call it a squall by any means.
No,
And
it came down pretty hard for like a half hour, but it was weird because it didn't stick. Because obviously it was pretty warm yesterday. I felt like the snow was actually melting the other snow. Like as it was falling, the snow was melting. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't think that's a scientific thing, but um,
it
it
was
just felt
hotter
like I lost
snow.
a lot of snow. And then now, did you see the weather for like the extended?
Yeah, that's gonna warm up
Yeah, it's gonna be
by
like I mean,
Christmas.
it's way out in the future, so you can't go by like a that far in map. But some of those
Right.
maps have like 60s and high 60s for Christmas. And I'm like, no, we went through all this freaking hell weather in December and we're not even get a white Christmas out of it.
Yeah,
Makes no
right.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And that
Not that
okay,
I can't
that
like
pisses
white,
me
it's
off
just
too.
nice to have it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, it can snow until New Year's Day, I'll give it. But January 2nd, get the fuck out. We're done.
But see, that's the worst because January is like your coldest month. And it's like it's hard to
January and
get the
February are
cold
like,
out. Like usually, when's the last time we had a December like this? I don't know, like 10, 15 years ago,
it was sooner
2013
than that.
maybe.
It was like, I want to say 2017, 2016, maybe. I don't know. I can't, it was right in there, but it wasn't, I guess it was about 10 years ago, right? Almost.
It is at least 10 years ago. So yeah, whatever it was. Um, but now it's
I
like
got
I'm sure on
pictures of it.
Christmas Day and Christmas Eve when I'm out driving around and going to Christmas and packing the car full of gifts and stuff like that, I'm probably gonna be pretty happy if it's 60 degrees is right at that point, but it's still gonna be disappointing. It's like and it'll probably snow like 2 days after Christmas.
You know what's so aggravating? So, and this is ties in a little bit, but we right before I got let go, I kept telling Mario, I'm like, we need to buy a car seat. I'm like, I want to buy a new car seat for Gio because he was still in the infant one and he's outgrown it. And I'm like, I want to buy a new one. It's still warm out. I want to put it in while it's still warm out. I just got it like 2 days ago.
Well, it looks like you're gonna have some weather to put it in. Why do you need warm weather to put a car? How hard is it to put a car seat in? I don't know. I've never put a car seat in. Well, I probably did at some point. I just don't remember. It's been so
The
damn
one,
long.
okay, so I pay for convenience, right? So like my car seat is a little bit easier than most to put in. But still it takes 25 minutes at least. And
That
then it's and
heat
then you
in the
gotta
car.
like my driveway is kind of slow. So you gotta drive to the flat part of the fucking of the
Is that
street.
that's on the east end of the property, right?
Right, yeah. It's the only flat part is on the east end past the lakes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so then there's this little level bubble in there. You got to make sure it's all the way in the blue or something.
What happens if it's not level? Like, do the kids' brains like lean to one side? Is it
You know what I think happens? What I think happens is this is this is just you know like like when you sit down too long, like when you're on the toilet and you sit down too long and your legs fall asleep. I think that's what happens to kids. I imagine that's what happens to kids.
like? Then I would think that like, do we need levels on like a necklace with a level to make sure we're sitting level? Like,
Did you ever see the new toilet that they were gonna get to reduce like workplace?
yeah, it's like you put your knees up or something like that, right?
It's like up or down or something.
Yeah, we already have like
Sit on
the
it for like
toilets at our job, or well, my job now, not your job. Well, the toilets at our job are uncomfortable, but it doesn't stop people sitting there for like 2 hours. So, why would you want to make that more comfortable? Like people will fall asleep in there.
no, it's supposed to make it uncomfortable
Oh, well, that
so they
makes
get off
sense.
faster.
That makes sense.
It's like only like a 4 minute hold time or something.
Yeah, but
You're
that
like
still won't stop. Then you'll just have people like cramping up and like you have to go get them out of the
complaining.
bathroom. They'll be laying on the ground
Could you
naked.
imagine taking that HR complaint from Rob?
And we're not supposed to talk about work.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yes, that would be funny. It's like I thought it was just a stool that you put your feet on or something. Maybe I'm thinking of two different things.
You are thinking
My
of two different things.
my toilet knowledge is just lacking. Um, I don't know. I want to get a bidet. I want to get an actual bidet in my house one of these days. Not
I'm
here, my
I'm
next house.
considering it
Dude,
with
I bought that stupid thing like 5, 6, 7 years ago. It's one of the toilet seats that you just put on that has the water attached to it. It doesn't heat or anything. Like some of the nicer ones have heat and air and all this stuff, but it's just water. You just split it into the water line. I bought it because it was like we found it in Top Stop one time and it was like clearance down to like $8. And it was like normally 50. So I was like, I'm gonna buy it. Like I needed a new toilet seat or something. Who knows?
Mhm.
This is the best thing I ever bought. Like once you have it, it's like TiVo. When I first like signed up for DirecTV and like when I moved into my house, my own house, and I wanted DirecTV and I called and they're like, well, do you want the TiVo? I was like, nah, I don't need TiVo. And she's like, well, it's free. And I'm like, well, why did you offer it then? Just give it to me. Like, why are you asking me? So I took it. And then I'm like, after like a week, you're like, how do I live without this? Like, I have to watch commercials. Like, I don't have to watch commercials anymore. Same with that. It's like, how do I live without this thing? So I do want to get like, we sell, I don't know if you saw it before you left. We had that one new Toto brand. Toto's great toilet. I didn't really expect this podcast to go off on a toilet tangent, but here we are. Um, Toto's a great brand, so we got that. We got a bidet seat that has like the fan and everything in it. It's like $400
Is that
for
the
this.
is that the
seat.
$100 one?
Yeah. Well, the toilet's 400. I think the seat's like 100 and some dollars. But the problem with those with that is like they got to have electric. So then like nobody has an outlet behind their toilet. Like you got to run an unsightly cord from wherever your outlet is down to the thing. So at least no house that I've ever been has an outlet by the
Well,
toilet.
I mean, we don't have a master bath, but we have a shared bathroom, and there's a light. We put a light in our tub shower,
Yeah, like a recess light or
and
whatever.
I mean, I guess you could run, something off of there.
I could do it. Like I could run an
I
outlet through the
actually
wall
would
from.
prefer that if I had a plug down by the toilet, because like I have two young kids that have to flip on the loudest switch in the entire house every time they get up at 2 a.m. to go pee. So
Oh, you just got like. So, I'm not gonna do it here. I'm not running electric to put a day in this house. It's the only bathroom I got. The one I have is fine. If I ever move and I have like a master bath, that's where I would do it in there. I'd probably just like if in an ideal world you have a bidet separate from an actual bidet, but that seems like a lot of work and a lot of money.
Mario's super rich family has those in like the common bathrooms. So they have them in their own personal bathrooms.
None of your servants have what do you just they just use outhouses, right? Out there in the
If they're
operating.
lucky. If they're not, being punished.
This when the bathrooms get taken away. Do they have HR?
They do not.
It's good for
H-
that sucks for them.
HR is my pistol.
That's my ring doorbell's going on. You know what? I don't mean to go off on another tangent here, but
Please do.
you have a ring doorbell, right?
I do not. We tried, but the
Try. How do you try to have a ring doorbell?
so the area where we have the doorbell is like this big, and I can't figure out how to make an adapter for it.
What do you mean? It
Like
just
there's
goes on the
no
outside.
area to mount it. The Ring doorbell's like this big, and
Yeah,
the
it's big.
area that I have to mount is like this big.
Oh well, can't you move it? Is your house brick?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
So I'm like,
surprising.
I have no idea where to even put this thing.
Can you hire? Do we used to do ring doorbells? Just can't you hire a handyman or something?
I need an on-staff handyman.
You have, yeah. I mean, just train one of your landscapers to be a handyman.
I have to train them. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, I guess that could be a problem.
It's electrical. It's
But
220.
anyways, to go back on the ring, I don't know when this happened, but in the last like, I don't know, maybe I'm paying attention to it. But like in the last month, look, I just have another one. Freaking somebody's dog ran away. Every post is about a dog or a cat or a missing dog. Like you don't have Ring, so there's a neighbors app in there, right? So you could post
Oh
like
God.
it's supposed to be like, "Hey, my car got stolen. Keep on the lookout for these people." It's just evolved into like my pet is loose, or my dog is missing, or something about a dog. Like every day, it's like multiple posts. Like stop using the Ring app. That's what the stupid Facebook community pages are for.
So, but
Your
you
dog.
can't be how you are on Facebook on Ring because they don't.
Oh, trust me, I'd still go on there and troll. Like, you missing a dog? Like I'll go on there.
Missing a
Hey,
dog. I was hot dog.
the creep page accepted me, by the way. I was able to answer that crazy question to keep me out of it. So, for those who don't know, like I don't know, like my pastime is trolling on town pages. Um, mostly referring to the local speedway in the town. It's usually something revolving around that. But so I don't know. Now all the town pages just pop into my algorithm. It doesn't matter if I'm a member of them. I just see them like, and somebody's talking about something stupid because their neighbor's grass is out of place or something. They're complaining about it, but whatever it is. So the creep page came on my thing, and usually when you try to comment on it, like I'll see it and I'm like, I'm going to comment on this. These people are dumb. It'll usually tell you you're not a member, you can't comment. I'm like, all right, so whatever. So sometimes if I really want to put a comment on there, if I really have a funny joke that entertains me, I'll go on there and I'll sign up for their membership. And it's usually they'll ask you a bunch of questions or a couple questions to like make sure you're from that town, like that matters. But the questions are always stupid. It's like when I joined the Joliet bars and restaurant page, I'm on there for some reason. And the question they ask is like, oh, where are you from, Joliet? Or no, name your favorite restaurant in Joliet. So I put McDonald's. I'm sure I've never been to, I've been to Joliet, but I'm sure there's a McDonald's there somewhere. And
There's
they
like 4
accepted
or
me.
5.
Yeah. So yeah, they accepted me. But then I did the other one, Crete came up. And no offense to Crete. I love Crete. Crete's one of my favorite towns in the general vicinity where we live. I think it's a cool town. But somebody posted something, I wanted to comment on it, and I showed you the picture. It was like, where are you from? Like, Crete? And that was the only question they asked. And so I passed their grading, their heavy their testing, and they
Heavy
let me be a
security.
member.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through their security and they're like, oh, I guess this guy he's not messing around.
Sounds like
He
he's
knew the
from Crete.
answer. I had the teacher's edition, so I knew the answer. It was Crete. Um, hey, did you see that? I'm looking at Twitter. Did you see that story about the Michigan coach?
Mario told me.
Yeah, he
Mario
got
told me
fired
about it.
yesterday randomly. Like there were rumblings that like read enough on Twitter that they were thinking about firing him, blah blah blah, because just he lost to Ohio State, and God forbid you can't do that.
Shouldn't he be in jail?
Yeah, he's in jail now, but they fired him for cause because he's apparently sleeping with some person
Staff
from that
member.
shouldn't have been. He was
Yeah.
married, and he was sleeping with some person. Apparently, I think she might have worked for like the school newspaper or something. I don't remember.
Oh,
Like
I thought she
nothing's
was part
official.
of like the football staff, like medical trainer or something.
Okay, maybe yes. There's all kinds of things. She's a white girl. His wife was white. I don't know why that matters, but it just here nor there. So apparently he's sleeping with her, but he got fired for it. And then apparently after he got fired, he went on some like rampage and like I was reading some of it and they're like, well, there was a assault. The cops were dispatched to his house and then apparently some other house. So I don't know. Did he go like
I think
go crazy and assault his wife and then go assault the girl that like I don't know if she turned him in or what. And then so
she's
yeah, he's in
pregnant.
jail.
She's
Fucked
pregnant.
up. He what?
She's pregnant.
Oh, I didn't see that part of it.
Yeah, that girl's
Which one? His
pregnant.
wife or the mistress?
The side chick is pregnant, and so
Whoops.
I think that she. I mean, I'm just piecing this together, but I would imagine that she was like, "Well, I'm keeping the baby," and he probably went ballistic when his wife was like, "I'm leaving. You're leaving.
Yeah, but it
Somebody's
seems like he
leaving."
went ballistic. He got fired first. It seems like they
Well,
fired
because
him.
I think that they found out. Oh, I don't know if she was pregnant and they told her whatever, or she told them and then they kind of I don't know. I don't know what the timeline of events were, but she's pregnant and they fired him and then I didn't know there was an assault on the wife. I just knew
I
that he
think I don't know who he assaulted. He's in jail for assault, but
I just
apparently the
knew that
police
he
were dispatched to two different
drove
places.
over to the side chick's house and threatened to kill her and himself. He was trying to do like a murder suicide kind of thing.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
All that over a job. Then I was listening to the radio today. Apparently, like a lot of the people that Michigan wants, like some of the Michigan fans want to hire to replace him, are some of the coaches that were on Harbaugh's staff. But like all of them are suspended because of all that cheating. Like Harbaugh's got 10-year suspension, so he can't come back. Not that he would, But even like some of his assistants they want are still on suspension, so they can't even hire him. So I heard that they might try to get the Alabama coach, buy him out. College football's all messed up, and don't even get me started on Notre Dame. You see my Notre Dame stuff up there. How they got screwed out of that playoff. I was so mad about that on Saturday.
Yeah, Mario
I
said
knew it
that
was going to
they
happen, so I was kind of prepared for it, but it was just dumb the way it happened. Like, I don't have a problem with Miami being in over Notre Dame on that last spot. If they want to say, hey, Miami beat Notre Dame head to head, even though it was, doesn't matter, head to head, Miami beat them. That was Notre Dame's went on the road on prime time, started a freshman quarterback making his first ever start, and they lost by a field goal in the last second. So it's not like Miami kicked the crap out of them, but they lost. And if you want to say head to head, Miami gets in because everything else being equal, Miami beat them, right? Fine. I don't care. I can't argue with that, and nor would I, because I spent my entire senior year in high school arguing in 1993 when Notre Dame beat the number one team in the country when they were number two. This is before your time. You weren't even alive yet. But in
was
93,
too.
Notre Dame played Florida State. It's called the game of the century. And Notre Dame was number two, and Florida State was one, or vice versa. I don't remember which one was one or two, but it was like the biggest game. It was like they call the game of the century, literally. And Notre Dame beat them, so Notre Dame was number one, and they beat Florida State. And this was long before bowls and playoffs and all this garbage. So Notre Dame the next week, probably they let down or whatever. They played Boston College, who I believe was unranked. They weren't ranked very high if they were ranked at all. So they're probably unranked. Notre Dame loses on a game-ending field goal the very next week, last game of the season, lose to Boston College. So they have one loss, and Florida State has one loss. And their own, Florida State's only lost to Notre Dame. Notre Dame loses to Boston College, but Notre Dame beat Florida State head to head. And the game was a 7-point game, but it wasn't really. Notre Dame beat them pretty badly. I think Florida State got a garbage touchdown right at the end of the game to make it a lot closer. But Notre Dame handled them, and there was no playoffs or BCS bowls back then. It was pretty much everybody went to the stupid bowl games like they used to: Rose Bowl, Citrus Bowl, Orange Bowl. So Notre Dame went to a bowl game. Florida State went to a bowl game. They were like really, I don't remember where Notre Dame fell after they lost to Boston College, maybe 3 or something like that. I don't know. And maybe the number 2 team was Nebraska, but Florida State won their game, their bowl game. Notre Dame won their bowl game. So I think they were still the only 2 1 losses. I'm probably messing this up, but it doesn't matter. They have the same record, and Florida State won the national championship, even though NotreAme beat them head to head, and they both have the same record. So I know that's a long time ago and nobody remembers that, but it's kind of the same scenario at this point. Like I honestly thought Notre Dame was the best team in the country. Like, I know they really play a whole bunch of good teams after those first 2 games, but they were beating the crap out of teams. They were like 70-14. They were up 35-0 against Syracuse in the first quarter. Like, they weren't just beating these teams.
But
they were just
this was a
destroying
contest
these
for
teams.
children.
And it sucks they took them out. Like I said, my biggest problem is the whole thing with the rankings. So the college football playoff, I don't know if you know a lot about it, but the playoff rankings come out about 6 weeks ago. With 6 weeks left in the season, they start doing these rankings. And the committee gets together and be like, well, here's our top 12 teams right now. And they release this every Tuesday, and ESPN gets their whole ratings, and this big show, and it's a big hullabaloo. And they promote this, and it gets out on the social media, and everybody's like, oh, look who's number 1, number 2, and like things obviously. The day that started 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, whenever the first one came out, Notre Dame was ahead of Miami. They said Notre Dame's a better team than Miami. That's what we think. And then every week after that, Notre Dame stayed ahead of Miami. And Notre Dame did nothing but win by like double digits every game. And Miami won 2. Miami didn't lose, but Miami lost 2 games to 2 unranked teams. Notre Dame lost to Miami and the number 5 team in the country, top 5 team, Texas A&M. So they lost to two top 12 teams, basically. And Miami lost to 2 stupid unranked teams. But it doesn't matter. They kept saying Notre Dame was ranked ahead of Miami. Notre Dame's better. And then all of a sudden, the week before the last week, they randomly moved Alabama up over Notre Dame. Alabama had 2 losses as well, just because they're, this SEC, ESPN runs the SEC. It's all money. So they moved Alabama up because they had a feeling that, hey, Alabama's going to lose in their championship game to Georgia. And if they lose, Alabama's going to have 3 losses. They'll be the only team in the top 15, 14 that has 2 losses. So how are we going to justify leaving Alabama in if they lose and get their 3rd loss? Well, we have to move them up ahead of Notre Dame. So, of course, when they did that, you can see the writing on the wall. So now they're basically pushing Notre Dame back to 11 and Miami's 12. So those are your last 2 at-large teams in, because the playoffs are stupid and they put James Madison got an auto bid, and Tulane got an auto bid. 2 small schools just because they won their conferences. I'll get into that in a second. But so you can see that they were getting it down to Miami versus Notre Dame for that last spot. That was going to be the way. So everything happens the last week. Alabama, of course, loses. They got their 3rd loss. So they lose in their championship game, and they don't drop Alabama at all. They have 3 losses. They don't drop from 9 to 10 because they're like, well, it's a championship game, and they played Georgia, and Georgia's like the number 2, 3 team in the country. So we're not going to penalize Alabama for losing the championship game. All right, fine, whatever. I don't care about Alabama. They're going to probably get smoked in the first round, and I hope they do. But so Alabama's getting in the playoffs. They don't drop them. BYU is playing in a championship game against Texas A&M. BYU's like the next team after Notre Dame and Miami. They only have 1 loss too. BYU, if they were to beat Texas A&M, they would have got an auto bid, and then Texas A&M would have got to stay in because they would have still been in the top 8 because you wouldn't have penalized Texas A&M that much. So that was if that would have happened, then BYU would have been in. Notre Dame, Miami would have been out automatically. Didn't happen. Texas A&M kicked the crap out of BYU, so BYU's out of the question. So we're still down to Notre Dame versus Miami. Miami plays in the ACC, that conference, right? Miami didn't even win their conference. They finished 3rd in their conference because they suck or whatever. They lost to 2 conference teams, so they finished 3rd in their conference. So they're not even playing for their conference championship. It's Duke and Virginia, 2 terrible teams, because the ACC has a bunch of terrible tiebreakers. So the whole week of championship, like if Virginia would have beat Duke, Virginia would have been able to auto bid into the playoffs. But because Duke upset Virginia in the championship game, the ACC doesn't even get an automatic bid because their champion is ranked too low, if that makes any sense. So their champion was so bad that the ACC lost their automatic bid, basically is what happened. So that's how James Madison got the next bid, which James Madison is like a 25-point underdog in the first round of the playoffs. So how these are the top 12 teams in the playoffs makes no sense. How do you have a 25-point underdog playing in the playoffs? But here nor there. So James Madison gets in, and then you could just see the writing on the wall. So out of the 6 weeks where Notre Dame was ahead of Miami, then the final rankings come out, and all of a sudden Miami jumps over Notre Dame, even though neither one of them have played for 2 weeks. What changed in 2 weeks to just say, oh, now they beat him head to head. Well, they beat him head to head in the first game of the year. They've always beat him head to head. That didn't change. They didn't not beat him head to head. Like, they were head to head and you always said Notre Dame was better than them for every ranking you release. It's just money, and the ACC and ESPN spent that whole week just campaigning for Miami to be in, which is stupid because Notre Dame's independent, and maybe that's part of their problem. They don't have a conference, and I don't know. They should maybe think about getting a conference, but they're independent, so they don't have anybody to like fight for them on their behalf. Everybody hates Notre Dame. I get that. But it didn't make any sense how they could just flip them. I guess the ACC network, which is owned by ESPN, by the way, the network played the Miami versus Notre Dame game like the whole weekend of championship weekend, just to like say, hey, look, Miami's beating Notre Dame. Like, they kept replaying it. And the funny thing is like Notre Dame's a partner with the ACC. They're not in the ACC for football. They're independent, but they're a part of the ACC for basketball. Like, the basketball team's in the ACC conference, and they just pretty much like fucked Notre Dame over just by, they campaigned for Miami. Like, how do you do that to a partner? In, like I said, maybe Notre Dame needs to like I said, Notre Dame wants to join a conference. Everybody's like, oh, Notre Dame would have been in if they joined a conference. They really should. They should join like the Sun Belt Conference and compete against like a bunch of like James Madison. Like, oh, we win this conference every year. Now we're in. It's insane. And I was so mad. That's like ruined my weekend. Bears had to go lose to the Packers again. It's a bad weekend.
I've tried to have Mario explain college football conferences and all that bowl games and all this stuff to me. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand college football in general. Like it's aggravating because like you're saying, Notre Dame's winning by destroying teams by double digits. Like to me, I feel like that's not even football. That's like, okay, so you put this high powered offense against zero defense and you watched it play out for 2 hours. Like, and there's no appeal to it. You know what I mean? And
There's
like,
really not. I was bored with Notre Dame down like every game. Like they were just they didn't really have a good game after they played the two best teams they play were the first 2 games of the year. Those were really good games and they did lose. Again, you had some freshman quarterbacks, you had a new defensive coordinator trying to get things settled. But college is weird because first of all, Notre Dame is in a different spot than everybody. They have to come up with 11 teams, 11, 12 teams to play every year. They have to find those teams to play. Teams in a conference have a built-in conference schedule. So they have 8 games built
schedule.
in. They have to find 3 other teams to play or whatever. So Notre Dame is at it's not a disadvantage. It's their own fault. It's like their own making. So you can't really say they're at a disadvantage. But with everybody else packed into conference teams, not everybody wants to take Notre Dame as a game. Like who wants to put Notre Dame on their schedule when I can schedule, the School of the Blind on week 13 and win by 50
it's a guaranteed
points,
win, right?
not play half of my players because I get it. You're playing a conference schedule and those are hard teams, but and there's teams that, Notre Dame struggles to get teams. So that's why they don't play the greatest schedule. But the other thing is that these schedules are made like 5-6 years in advance, most of them. So it's not like, how the heck do you know if Syracuse is going to be terrible? Like Syracuse is always terrible at football, but they're really terrible this year. How do you know that 5-6 years ago when you scheduled this, that, how do you know USC was only going to be a middle of the pack team this year? Like when they play USC every year, but that's a different one. But like, I think they have Alabama on their schedule, but it's not till like 2030, but that's how far the stuff is.
Okay. So,
pushed
but
out.
this is what I'm not getting. So like you have the ACC, you have Big Ten, you have SEC, you have Pac-10, right?
Big 12.
Big 12, whatever. Yeah. And they're all combining because, I mean, from what I understand, like the way that I'm about to describe it, I assume that that's how everybody else looked at it. Like if you're in the ACC, why are you playing a team that's in the SEC and calling it your conference?
Well, you're not. What do you mean?
I don't know. Am I misunderstanding it? Because I don't watch it and I hate it. I can't understand it. Everybody gets a bowl game. Everybody, like, you have the Tostitos Sunbelt Citrus Classic bowl. Like,
they're all so.
I hate January. I hate late December, January. I hate all of it.
So the bowl games are going away. You can forget, like, give me 5 years from now, there won't be any bowl games.
Good.
Just because what happens is, so I don't know if you know, Notre Dame just pretty much took their ball and went home. They said, yeah, fuck you guys.
I heard that they were not going to a bowl game and they said, no, we don't want it.
They said no. They were going to play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl against BYU. But they said no, which I think was, the players decided. It wasn't like Notre Dame. The players said they don't want to go. So what are you going to tell the players? You have to? They were mad.
But what does a bowl game even do or mean?
These days, like, they used to be cool, right? When there were only bowl games and there wasn't playoffs. Like, that was what you did. That was your final. You get to go on a trip.
Bowl.
Huh?
Like the Rose Bowl.
Right. Those were like pageantry. They were big things back then. Like, there weren't playoffs, so everybody just went to bowls. You weren't even guaranteed back in the day that the number 1 and number 2 teams would play each other at the end of the year because the number 1 team was stuck being automatically going to the Rose Bowl, and then they had to play the Pac-10 team, and the Pac-10 champion could have been like the 15th ranked team, and that's just how it worked. But that doesn't, with the playoffs now, and the problem you run into now with all the NIL money, all these kids they go from school to school to school. Every year they just go where the money is. And the problem you run into bowl games, like, especially it's not a playoff game, right? So Notre Dame was going to go to this bowl game. Let's just say they're going to go play BYU. So it would have been the last two teams that didn't make the playoffs. So two good teams, right? It probably would have been a good game. But you have Jeremiah Love, who's a Heisman finalist for Notre Dame. He's the best running back in the country. Probably going to be a top 10 draft pick. Their other running back is really good. Probably going to go in the first round. So both of Notre Dame's running backs will in the first round. A couple of their linemen are going to be draft picks. All of the players on Notre Dame that are going pro are declaring aren't going to play in that bowl game because there's literally zero reason for them to play in that game.
Right, because
it's
if I'm
all risk, no
understanding it
reward.
correctly, it's an exhibition game,
Yeah,
essentially.
it is. And some teams
Means
will use
nothing.
it to like the guys they know are going to play next year. You know, you get your freshmen some work and stuff like that. I get that, but
It's
it's
ratings
not
and
going to be
advertising
Notre
at the
Dame
end of the
versus
day.
BYU. Yeah, it's just not going to be the same team. So you're going to have like nobody's going to know half the players on Notre Dame, even if they went to a bowl game. And then it's not just the players going pro; it's any player on Notre Dame that's like, I'm a backup. I can be a starter somewhere else. Somebody's going to pay me money. I'm going to go in a transfer portal. So all the players going to a transfer portal, they're not going to play either because they don't want to get hurt and lose any kind of money they're going to get. So you might have like a completely new team out there. So it really doesn't make any sense to have the bowl games anymore. Nobody really wants to play in them. The Big 12, I think 5 of their schools declined invites to bowl games. Like they were scrambling, like some of these bowl games, like I don't know, the Egg Eater Bowl or whatever the last bowl is, they couldn't even find anybody to fill out the last spot. They had to go find, I think it was Appalachian State, who finished 5-7. You have to win like 6 games to be bowl eligible. They obviously weren't bowl eligible, but they're like, you're the last team. Do you guys want to come to this bowl? And they said yes. So
Yeah.
the bowl games are literally irrelevant these days. They'll go away pretty soon. It's just they do make money, and I assume they make
that's the
money.
thing. Are they going to go away?
Them.
Because if they make money, then they got to stick. I would imagine they stick around.
Yeah. Well, they're all like you said, they're all sponsored now. It's like I think Notre Dame was going to play in the Citrus Bowl, and it's like, and I'm not going to take credit for this joke because I heard it yesterday, but it's called the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Like those are the worst flavored Cheez-Its. The Cheez-It Citrus. Not good.
Orange cheese.
Yeah. But yeah, I promise you in 5 years there won't be any more
Thank
bowl
God,
games.
because I can't stand bowl season. It never made any sense to me, and I would like talking to my husband is like just asking to be shot in the face. Like
he's like you talking to somebody about like me talking about weather.
Yeah,
stop asking these questions.
It's very obvious he cannot stand when somebody's college football stupid. So, which I am because I don't watch college football. I hate college football.
That sounds like something a woman would say.
Exactly. And so I asked him about it, and he would be like, I don't have time to explain this to you. You're on a 2-week vacation. There's not enough time in that 2-week vacation to explain college football to me.
I tried to explain it in as simplest terms as I can. It took me like 25 minutes to spit out what the problems are. Did you see the Lane Kiffin thing? The coach from Ole Miss?
I heard about it.
Real quick, he's coaching Ole Miss. Ole Miss is in the playoffs, so they're one of the top 5 teams, 6 teams in the country. They made the playoffs, and he's their coach. And if you know Lane Kiffin, he's got a lot of history. Like he got fired from the Raiders, like in the middle of after a game on the road, and the Raiders like left him on the tarmac. Like they didn't even let him come on the plane home. They fired him to like stay here. But he's worked his way. Like he went to a real small school, coached there, won, then moved up, went to Alabama, offensive coordinator, and eventually got this job. So he did a really good job there. They're in the playoffs, but he took the LSU job right before their last game. And that's kind of shitty. Like he left all those kids. So they're going into the playoffs without a coach. They got a coach, but not him. And he left to go to LSU. He wanted to stay and coach them for the playoffs. And Ole Miss is like, no, fuck you. You literally bailed on us. Why would we let you stay? Like, and then you're going to, probably stay and spend the 3 to 4 weeks that you have here recruiting all the players that
Yeah.
you want to come to LSU. So it's like, get out of here, go coach LSU. So I don't know. I think
The only real thing I know about Lane Kiffin is Mario said that when he gets reincarnated, he wants to come back as Lane Kiffin.
he's a unique personality. Like I've went so many ends of the spectrum. Like I couldn't stand him when he first kind of came about and started coaching and started getting these promotions. I didn't like him. He was an arrogant, cocky guy and coached the Raiders. I wrecked the late Raiders and all the teams he coached. And so I reveled in every time he got fired, and he always got fired in such dramatic ways. Like he was the offensive coordinator at Alabama when they were like when Saban was there. He was Saban's offensive coordinator, and I think he took a job at like Southern Florida. I don't. My timeline's probably messed up, but he went from he got promoted. Like somebody hired him as a head coach, Southern Florida, I want to say, or Central Florida, one of the directional Florida schools. And it was right before like Alabama was getting ready to play in the championship game, and Saban's like, "Yeah, you're fired. Like, you want to take another job? You have that job." So Saban let him go, and it was funny. Saban like was all sticking up for him too when he took the LSU job. I was like, nah, but they before the last 2 years, coaches would do that, and the kids were screwed because they're like, wait, this guy recruited me to come here, and now he's just leaving, and I'm stuck. At least now the students and the athletes can just transfer all as much as they want to. Like Cam Smith, the Titans quarterback, went number 1 overall last year. He's like was talking. I saw somebody posted some interview with him, like how he was all excited. Miami is in the playoffs, and he was all excited. Miami's in the playoffs. He's like he went to Miami. He went to like 3 other schools. Like Miami was just the last one he went to. Like he transferred like 3 different times. Like just happened to be Miami was the last one until he left. Like you don't get the right to root for Miami. You were a mercenary that took their money and went there and played quarterback for a year and then got drafted. Like you're not a Miami alumni. That's garbage. And that's the way it is now. All right.
Now that we're off our tangent.
Well, we've talked long enough. Nobody's going to listen to this much of a talk, so
we got a bunch to edit.
Wrap it up for today, and we'll try to do this weekly. If I can ever get Ed to start an actual, I mean, this podcast pretty much devolved into sports and in toilets. It's pretty much where we ended up with. So,
sports toilet.
Hopefully, we have like a more of a in Pop-Tart. So, but we'll do this again. We'll try to do this weekly. I'll get this published out probably today. I have anything else to do, so I'll edit it and put it out there. And maybe Dunkin Donuts give me a free drink. You can go sell some advertising somewhere else. But all right, I'll talk to you at some point before next week. But otherwise, sometime next week. I'm on vacation next week, so I can do any day.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Definitely.
And I think, fuck you.
Bye.